Hey, JK here. I want to thank you for sharing part of your day with me.
Y'all ready for this?
Welcome back to 30 Teams in 30 Days. For day 28, we're going to be traveling up to Boston to talk about the Boston Red Sox. In 2025, they went 89-73. They did have the most runs and most wins they've had since 2021, and unlike the other teams we've talked about, had an upward trajectory since 2023 in games won, obviously. During the year, the Red Sox did, in fact, own the Yankees, winning 9 out of the 13 games that they played. However, once it got to the playoffs, the Yankees took the wild card around 2-1, and obviously won when it counted. Speaking of winning when it counted and doing what you need to do, Trevor Story absolutely did that. He was in the final year of his contract before the opt-out clause kicked in, although he did choose to stay. He also took the advantage to lead the Red Sox in multiple categories, including runs, hits, home runs, RBIs, stolen bases, batting average, and strikeouts. While Jarren Duran led the team in everything else, including at-bats, doubles, triples, walks, total bases, and all the ratios. Both of these guys were super consistent in the lineups, playing in 157 games, and were obviously showing why they were 1 and 2 when it came to the stats. Another young guy who led to the success of the third best team in the AL East was Ceddanne Rafaela. In his second full year at the major league level, he figured some stuff out. He was able to improve in everything except triples and RBIs. Some of those did include up to 14 runs, 11 doubles. He was actually able to add 13 walks and cut his strikeouts by 31. So with hits going up and strikeouts going down, the ratios obviously also went up. Speaking of going up, the errors that Ceddanne made did not. He actually went from 12 in 2024, only 8 in 2025. So again, he's figured stuff out at the plate, figured stuff out in the field, and that's unfortunate for the Yankees because that means he's going to be good for years to come. Another guy that cut down on his errors in 2025 was Rafael Devers. He had 12 errors in 2024, and in 2025, he had 0. At least 0 with the Red Sox. He did end up having 2 after the trade to the San Francisco Giants. First half of the season was nothing but drama with the Red Sox because Devers did not want to play first base. They brought Alex Bregman, who's nothing but a little punk, in to play third because he is better defensively than Devers at third. Well, because Devers only wanted to play third, he refused to play first and had to settle for DH. In that position, he wasn't terrible. He had 15 home runs, 50-plus RBIs, had 50-plus walks, and had a .270 average. Then he was traded. The Giants got a different version of Rafael Devers. In 90 games with the Giants, he did hit 18 home runs. He had 50-plus RBIs, 50-plus walks, but his average plummeted from .276 down to like .230. Pac Bell is a very pitcher-friendly park. Lots of fly balls, not a lot of stuff going out over the walls, except if you are Barry Bonds. So hopefully Devers is able to do well. And I say hopefully he's able to do well because he found his way on my team in one of my leagues. So, man. I also ended up with Matt Chapman on 2 of my teams. So, this could be a long season, especially with those 2. Oof. Really, back from San Francisco to Boston, we are going to now talk about a guy who always seemed to have clutch home runs. At least when he was playing me. Or like the guy who had him or the girl who had him was playing me. He always seemed to nudge the opponent up just 1 or 2 home runs when they were playing me, so they won that category, which was very frustrating. Oh, so very frustrating. What most is frustrating for me for very different reasons was the fact that there was a guy in this organization who looked like a star in the making, but injuries just continue to kick his butt. In 2023, Tristan Casas was 3rd in AL Rookie of the Year voting. He ended up having some shoulder issues later in the season. Wondering now, did those impact him and his ability to get to 1st or even 2nd in the AL voting? In 2024, it was a routine game against the freaking Pirates. He felt something in his rib cage. They took him out, ended up being a strained oblique, and then it was a freaking fractured rib. So that kept him out a period of time. He was limited to 63 games. And then in 2025, little dribbler down first baseline. He's running as fast as he can, trying to beat it out. Ruptures his freaking patellar tendon. He is still recovering to 2026 opening day and will miss it. That is really frustrating to me because as much as I hate Boston, I hate injuries more. Tristan Casas proved himself to be one of the top rookies in 2023, was in a strong lineup, and has faced injury for a few years in a row. Now, I know you could say other players also face injury. I get it. But it's one of those situations where, he did what he needed to do, and then injuries are cutting his opportunities short. Now, maybe he'll be able to come back this year and make Wilson Contreras, want to go back to catcher. And I know it's not going to happen. But he could fight himself through to be DH only. For the sake of him, I hope he comes back strong. I hope he's not too strong as the Yankees, but shoot, I feel for you, Tristan Casas. I hope you get better soon. I hope you recover well. Transitioning from a guy who did pretty well his rookie year in 2023 to a guy who did pretty well in his rookie year in 2025. He only played in 71 games, but also did get some experience in the World Baseball Classic. Roman Anthony is going to be a force to be reckoned with. In 71 games, he did have 75 hits. He had a few home runs here and there, so a few bases, but then also saw 40 walks compared to 84 strikeouts in that same span. So a 292 batting average is only going to steady out or improve as he sees more pitches. He did do some big things in the World Baseball Classic for the USA, so thank you, sir, even though we came up short. As we move on to pitching, I'll admit the 2025 Garrett Crochet was pretty good. The 2024 Garrett Crochet was actually even better, in my opinion. Surprise! Garrett Crochet led the Red Sox in all the pitching categories. Okay, we're done past that. I want to talk about why 2024 Garrett Crochet is better than 25. So in 2025, he had 255 strikeouts in 205 innings. He had 46 walks and 11.2 Ks per nine. Okay, that's not bad. Those are actually pretty good numbers. In 2024, he had 205 strikeouts in 146 innings and 33 walks with a 12.9 Ks per nine. So yeah, just because the numbers stand out a little bit more in less time, I think that's why 2024 Garrett Crochet was better. Garrett Crochet's 205 innings pitched was 40 more than Brian Bayo's 166, which was 20 more than Lucas Giolito's 140 plus, which was 30 more than Walker Buehler's 112, and then the next closest was 74. So there's a bit of a fall off. Brian Bayo had 16 quality starts, 11 wins, 124 strikeouts over 166 innings, 3.3 ERA with a 1.2 whip, while Lucas Giolito did have 14 quality starts with 10 wins, 121 strikeouts over 145 innings, 3.6 ERA with a 1.2 whip. So no, it was a solid 1, 2, and 3. However, there's considerable drop-off after that until you get to the bullpen, until you get to Garrett Whitlock and Aroldis Chapman. They were pumping gas, and they were daring you to swing at their stuff. Before we get to those two, we'll talk about the two other main setup guys, Justin Wilson and Greg Weissert. Both had 17-plus holds, both had ERAs between 2.8 and 3.2, and whips between 1.1 and 1.4. Both of them did have respectable strikeout numbers. Garrett Whitlock had 91 and 72 innings. He also had a 2.2 ERA and a 1.08 whip. He had 24 holds and was able to give Aroldis Chapman a very clean setup. As Aroldis Chapman came in, he's pushing 38. Good gosh. So last year, he was 37 and pitched to a sub-1 whip. It was 0.7 and a 1.17 ERA. Oh, golly. 32 saves, 85 strikeouts in 61 innings. Jeez, he still got it. There's going to be some regression. There's got to be. He's 38, right? So he might not throw 102. He'll throw 101.9. As we move to the prospects, the Red Sox have 4 in the top 100, 2 of which are pitchers who already see major league action, and they're definitely going to see more this year. Peyton Tolley and Connolly Early both played very well for the Red Sox last year. Early already won a spot in the rotation for 2026, and Tolley is absolutely going to be the first guy called up. However, it will take an injury or a very long stretch of games or just some rest for the starters to be called up. As you see the arrivals and departures, big names going in and out of Boston. Some of the big pitcher names coming in, Sonny Gray and Ranger Suarez. Both of those guys are going to be in that rotation. Suarez might have a little better opportunity than Gray. Gray's a little older, and I think that 4+ ERA is going to stick. Another good arm they can use that in rotation is Johan Oviedo. Coming over from Pittsburgh, now with a good team, he might win a few more games. They also brought in Wilson Contreras, Caleb Durbin, Andrew Monasterio, and my man, Isaiah Connor Falafel. I know I didn't say his name right, but they brought him in. For the guys that are going out, Alex Bregman, thank goodness. I hated seeing him do well, especially against my Yankees, because he was a cheater, nothing but a cheater and a little punk when he was with the Astros. So he also lost several pitchers, including Walker Buehler, which I don't think that was really a big loss. Dustin May, I don't think that was a big loss. Dick Fitz, or Richard Fitz, that was a pretty big loss. Hunter Dobbins, I think that was a decent loss because he was pretty good and young in that rotation, able to step in big games last year. Of course, they lost some infielders, including Rafael Devers, which I don't think that was a sad day for Boston, and David Hamilton, the speedster, and the last few, Blaze Jordan, Vaughn Grissom, and Nate Lowe. As we move to the fantasy assets, pretty much any starting pitcher. There we go. As you get the bullpen, Garrett Whitlock, definitely a lock. Aroldis Chapman, a lock. Now we get to the offense. Gonna go on a limb and say you want Trevor Story. Also gonna say that you want Jarren Duran. You'll want Roman Anthony. And the last must-have is Cedric Rafael. As you get to deeper leagues, you want to look at Wilson Contreras, who plays first. You want to look at Caleb Durbin, who can play second and or third. Marcelo Meyer could be another good pickup. And then Wilyer Abreu. I don't know if he's going to be a starting outfielder for you, but he could at least be a fourth guy you bring in, especially when they're going against the Yankees. Just going over to the bold predictions. I really don't think it's that bold, but I think this team is going to win the AL East. I also think they're going to own the Yankees in the regular season, and if for some odd reason or somehow we meet in the playoffs, they'll absolutely do that. I don't even think the Yankees are going to make the playoffs, to be honest with you. That bothers me and bums me out to say, but it is what it is. I also do think this pitching rotation is going to be phenomenal. 3 guys with at least 10 wins, 2 guys with at least 200 strikeouts, and I think that Aroldis Chapman is going to hit 45 saves. Like, that is not out of the realm of possibilities. The only thing that's going to stop him from having so many saves is the fact that there could be guys having complete games. That's crazy. I also think that there are going to be guys with at least 20 stolen bases, like 2 or 3 guys with 20 stolen bases. I think there could be guys with 30 stolen bases. That is going to do it for day 28. That pains me to say all that and talk so highly of the Red Sox, but I really think the AL East is going to run through them this year, and I don't think it's going to be close. I think they're going to be able to just outlast everyone, outbop everyone. Oh, man. In any case, tomorrow we finally get to talk about my Yankees, and it's going to be technically the first game of the season. I'm going to try to record the video before the game so I'm not bummed out afterwards if we lose. We do have to face Logan Webb. That's a pretty good guy, right? We do have Max Fried going, so pretty happy about that. Baseball is back, ladies and gentlemen. I am pumped. I'm excited. I hope you are too. I know you are too. This is JK. I want to thank you for sharing part of your day with me.